Yo, welcome everyone to a brand new video. Today we are back with some league racing again. The previous week I wasn't home, so that's why there was no league racing video. But now it's time for a league race around Imola. And this is our first qualifying lap. I have to say, this track in qualifying is probably the worst scenario for me. But we are confident in the race, so we have to try to get a good lap in. And now we're on for a decent lap, but in the chicane again we lost an insane amount of time there. Which is unfortunate. Of course, the times in qualifying are separated by a couple hundreds, so losing 2 tenths or 1.5 tenths there is not ideal, and that costs you a lot of positions. So this is our final quali run in 5th gear through the first section, 6th gear on exit, and we're improving here, so it seems like we can do a good lap time here. 5th gear for this right hander, up to 6th, and back to 4th gear for this left hander. Slowly on the power again, easy to lose the rear. Then uphill onto the fast left hander, going to 5th gear, and quickly on the power again. Improving by half a tenth for now, but in the chicane we can gain really much time. So it seems like we're on for a really good lap here. We're braking for the chicane, but we missed the apex on the first corner there. And look at the delta. We even lost time. I thought it couldn't be worse, but yeah, that's just a silly mistake there.
Can't take myself serious, honestly.
Variante LP.
So fucking idiot.
That's okay.
Normally in the final sector I was doing around 7, 0.75, 0.78, like consistent, and now we did a 0.96, so there should be at least 2 tenths off there in the final sector, and that would have give us P4 at least, and now we're starting from P11, so it's gonna be quite hard to get a good race out of here, but we're gonna try our best, so let's head into the race. Here we are then, we're gonna be starting on the hard tires in P11. I think everyone ahead of us is on the hards. It's gonna be a dry race, there are 5 red lights, and away we go, and it seems like we have a decent start here, already moving up to P10. A couple cars ahead are struggling with the traction of the start, and now up to P9, going inside of the Williams, outside of the Red Bull, and having the inside for the next corner. Now there was a bit of lag and a car went into the wall there, but at least we are up to P8, so we made up 3 positions already. And now the throw is of Kingston is ahead of us. We're gonna go down the inside there, brake late and be ahead of him. Now giving him a space on the outside, and that's us up to P7 already. So we made 4 positions in the first lap, and now we are right behind the Haas driver of Ben Sabo.
I put you too soft on the first, sorry. At the top.
Now we're gonna use our ERS trying to get past here, but he is defending to the inside, and I don't want to drain too much of my ERS, so I had to turn it off again. But at least I want to show him that I really want to get past. And of course, if I'm trying to get past and he is defending with all his ERS, it's not gonna be good for him as well. So now in lap 4, we're gonna close the gap to him. In lap 3 I decided to save as much ERS as possible, didn't use the whole lap, and now we're gonna use again, trying to go for a move. We're only 2 tenths behind him, and now he's defending a bit less, moving to the inside. He's pushing us on the grass here. but we keep our car next to him, and now in this corner he's decided to keep it around the outside, and now I have to take a wide line to make sure to not spin him around, even though he outbraked himself. But of course it wouldn't be nice for me to spin him around at this point, and now we have to close the gap to the cars ahead. At least we are up to P6 and we got the fastest lap as well, and now the gap is coming down 9/10, but we have to use quite some ERS to close the gap here. The gap still 9/10, so we need a good chicane here to make sure we got DRS for the long straight. And we do, we gained around 1.5 tenths there, also with the help of ERS on exit.
What's
And
Christoph's
now
ERS?
He's on 38%.
so Christoph was on 38% ERS, and he is 8.5 tenths, almost 9 tenths behind the car ahead of him, so he's struggling a bit. And now look at him, he's had a snap of oversteer there, and his tires will be a bit too warm for this chicane. He misses the apex like we did in qualifying, and now he is out of the DRS of Carter-Lundy, so that's not ideal for him and also not for us, because now we are losing quite some time to the cars up ahead. But we are still low on ERS because we had to make some moves early on in the race, and we're trying to save a bit. As you can see, we're now on 30% ERS, and Christoph was flashing,
much ERS.
so he was below 10%. Of course he was trying to push to get us back in, but unfortunately it didn't work out.
I want to know Ruben is, because if he's on low I can push.
So now we don't have to use a lot of ERS, just using a bit to make sure we are fully ahead for this corner. And now the gap to the cars ahead is 1.8 to Carter and 2.8 to Ruben, but we are closing in a bit, so that's nice to see that we've got the pace, even though we can't use much of an ERS as we are already quite low on it.
Christoph behind is on none.
And now look at the car ahead, it's Ruben who made a mistake, and we can just about pass him.
He's right behind me.
So now in lap
He's on
12
30%.
we are already in P4, so we made up 7 positions in the first stint, and now we're also getting closer to Carter-Lundy. He's going into the pits and I decided to follow. We brake just in time, so we probably gained around 1 or 2 tenths to Carter here, and hopefully we can have the DRS
Hoping for no glitch or something here.
Okay.
from him on the next
and
lap.
Those two will be boxing this lap too.
Okay, good. Ruben got held a bit.
That's ideal. I think you gained on Carter in the...
Carter also lost the DRS to the cars ahead of him with around 2 seconds or 1.5. As there's Norbert who got past me, and he's on the hards, and I was not sure if he went from mediums to hard or that he didn't make a pit stop yet.
Norbert hasn't hit it, so... Norbert hasn't hit it, so it's just unlucky.
Did he make his pit stop or not?
No.
Oh.
So there you can hear from the engineer, he didn't make his pit stop yet, so I was hoping he would get in now, but he didn't, and Carter was pulling away, and Ruben was putting pressure as well, so I had to get past here. Use quite some ERS. Now we're up the inside, but we are only on 15% of ERS, and Carter is probably still around 40-50 because he gained ERS in the pits as well, and we just couldn't get close without ERS.
Battery, please tell me.
And now Ruben Petreno had a bit more of ERS, so decided to work together and let him try to close the gap to Carter Lundy again.
Ruben's on 15%.
Okay. As you could hear, Ruben on 15%, so not much more, but at least he could get back into the DRS, so that was nice, and in that time we saved a lot of it. Also the cars ahead of Carter were quite far ahead. I think Joost is now in first and he pulled away. Alfie is in second, he pulled away from Carter as well. So it's just a race for P3 now, but I was already happy being in P5 starting from P11. And now Carter is...
Carter doing?
He was acting quite weird in my opinion by sort of defending in this section of the track, as Ruben probably wasn't planning to go for a move there, as there's quite a long DRS straight here. And I really wanted to get past Carter and Ruben didn't go for it, so we are gonna pull to the left here, overtake Ruben and overtake Carter as well, so we're doing a double overtake here. And we're ahead before the corner.
That's not.
Good job, mate.
It's not really useful. But
and like I said, it's not really useful as I had to drain quite some ERS, and Ruben behind me now can save a lot of his ERS. So he was around 85, I could hear from my engineer, and we are at around 40. So he's double our ERS. It will be hard to keep him behind. And now in lap 31 the game is really gonna start. And he didn't go for a move on this lap. So Ruben is planning to go for a move on the final lap, which is quite smart of course, as you need to be ahead in the final lap. Easy as that. And now that mistake there, not ideal, especially in this moment of the race. Ruben gained around 2/10 on us there, and now we need a really good middle and final sector to still have big enough of a gap to keep Ruben behind. And now the chicane again. Don't have to think about quali, that will go wrong. But now we gained a bit of time there. Gap almost 5/10, but he has much more ERS than us. So now the final two corners. We need a good exit coming out of here to make sure Ruben doesn't get past us. We're straight away moving to the left to break the slipstream. We are almost flashing right now. And Ruben is gaining, he's gaining, but he's just too far behind and we're still ahead going into the first couple of corners. But we are flashing right now, and Ruben probably has still around 30 or 40% ERS. So if he can close the gap to maybe 1 or 2/10, it's still not over yet.
Ruben's on 35%.
As you could hear there, Ruben is on 35% ERS, and I was just pushing everything I had. As we took that corner quite nicely, gained some time, Ruben again. And now the chicane for the final time, taking it nicely, but then
he extends.
Ruben extends on the chicane, gained around the 10th or 1.5.
Let's go guys.
He's moving
job,
to the outside, but he just wasn't really next to me or
overtake me like that, mate.
anything.
Yeah, now that was a fair move.
I'm not gonna play it like that. Let's go.
Good job, man. Good job, Joost.
Oh,
Fuck,
Oh,
let's
fuck.
let's go, Joost.
Oh, my right wrist, so painful.
P11, P3.
Good fucking job, guys.
Oh, that's good.
Let's go, boys. Let's fucking go. Oh, what a race.
So at the end, it's us finishing in P3. and with Joost, our teammate, in P1, Alfie in P2, and the pace we had, especially on the hards when we had to close the gap, was quite good, I guess, without any ERS. And we also got 2 warnings in. We got 1 warning in lap 12, I guess, or lap 13, and we got 1 warning in lap 17. So we have to be cautious as well at the end for getting no penalty. But we finished the race in P3 starting from P11, so I'm happy with it. Next week is Brazil, so I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you have a good day. Ciao ciao.